Hey gang, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Intuitive Angling. Hope you guys are having a good day, and like I said, thanks for making some time to watch the video. Today I'm going to talk about and show you and give you some tips and advice on how to fish what I consider the most underrated summer lure that there is for catching quality fish. So we're going to go over it in detail completely. And you guys know, little plug here before we get started, you guys know I'm working with Baitworks in Springfield, Missouri here. If you guys are interested in any of these, I'll include the link in the description. It's a really good way to help the channel out, and they're just great people to work with, man. All of the guys that own the store their fish, it's just great people to buy your tackle from. Much appreciated. Okay guys, let's talk about this. I wonder how many people can guess what this thing is. I bet a lot of you can't guess. I mean, I'll give you a couple seconds here, but if there's anybody out there that can guess what this is, I'll be really impressed here. But I'm going to show you what it is here and give you some tips and advice on this. Actually, the bait that I'm going to show you guys right here, David Dudley gave it to me. We were at a tournament at Lake Chickamauga, FLW tournament several years ago, and David gave me this bait, sort of clued me in on the pattern, and caught some big ones on it. And what it is just the old time prop bait. This is the one David gave me right here. I'm not even sure what kind of bait it is. It doesn't even say on there. It's just a generic prop bait in just a perch pattern prop bait like this. Guys, now what we're going to get into here is I'm going to talk about, you guys that watch the channel, you hear me talk a lot about spawning perch in the summertime. Spawning bluegill, spawning red ears, just any type of sunfish. Perch spawn all summer long, almost in any lake across the country. I don't care if it's a natural lake, man-made lake, river, whatever. As long as that water temperature is over 75 degrees, those perch are going to be bedding and spawning, and that's what keeps a percentage of the bass in any body of water shallow all year long. And this is the bait that you want to use to catch them right here. This prop bait in a perch pattern right here is the #1 bluegill bedding bass catching bait that you can fish out there. And a lot of people don't fish it. It's just like the prop baits have been around forever, man. They've been around for dang 80 years, different type of applications for it. Obviously technology's improved a little bit as far as the profiles and realistic lifelike actions on them. I don't have one in preference. Some prop baits like the devil's horses are long and skinny, but I prefer the ones that are more short and stubby like this, the one that David gave me here. So a couple of different things. You got the bait there, but the key on it is knowing how to fish it, where to fish it. What you want to look for in this is, and we did a video a couple days ago, I was talking about this a little bit. You got to fish this thing around the type of areas that the bluegills bed in. And they bed normally in the back part of the coves. They bed around shade, around any cover that's in the water. They can bed on bare banks, but for the most part, you'll find a lot of them towards the back of the coves where it starts to flatten out. And if you got any shade, they just love to bed around shade. So that's the type of water you want to look for, is basically run a pattern of fish on the back end of those coves. And that's the great thing about this, is you can run a pattern all over the lake with it. Once you know that there's a few fish up, two bluegills up bedding, you can cover the whole lake and do this. It's a pattern type of a bait. And here's another thing about it is the bedding bluegills, it helps to have them in the cove, but it's not necessary. You don't have to have them there to catch the bass, but the key on it is that prop bait. And what I like to do on it is I fish it on, about a 6.5 foot, 6 foot 10 inch medium action bait casting rod. Most of the time I'm using, a 12 to 15 pound mono. I don't like to use a braid on it simply because the braid fouls on the prop a lot in the front hook. So I'll use, 12 to 14 pound test mono on it. Basically making long casts with it and trying to get as close to the bank as I can. Most of these bluegills are going to spawn shallow, so I like to try to get it where that bait is in 1 to 3 foot of water, and basically I just throw it out there and just blurp it, let it stop for maybe a second or two, blurp it again, let it stop for a second or two, and I work it out probably 10 feet away from the bank. If one doesn't hit it, I'll reel it in and make another cast. So it's one of the most exciting ways that you can catch them, man. Topwater fishing in the middle of summer, it's a great way to catch them. The bait also, the pattern also works with a walking topwater. We've talked a little bit before. The difference between the two, the walking topwater will work a little bit better if the water's clear, like if you've got that 4-foot visibility or clear, like a Clearwater lake. But if you're in a lake that's got some type of stain to it, like Lake Chickamauga is a perfect example where David gave me this bait, the prop bait will catch a lot more fish than the walking topwater when those bluegills are spawning. So anyway, guys, just give it a try. Nice simple tip. A lot of people, this is probably the most underrated summertime lure that there is. It's a big fish catching deal. This isn't like just getting lots of bites with a limit. Most of the time when you're after those bedding bluegills, you're not getting a ton of bites, but the bass that you catch are quality fish. I'm gonna say that the average fish that I've caught when I'm on this bedding bluegill pattern is around 3 pounds. So and like I said, if you get 8 or 10 bites a day, you've had a good day, but you got a chance to catch a lot of 3 to 5 pound fish in it. So give it a try, guys. Get your perch pattern, prop bait, get them at Baitworks, link in the description, and hope it catches a few for you guys. We'll talk to you later.